In our Grand Design Imagine 2600 RV travel trailer, we have this huge deep dark storage area just to the left as you walk out the RV door. We typically put bike helmets in here. I wanted to mount our Pepwave cellular router and our Wi-Fi router in this area since it's out of the way and fairly large. My goal was a mounting solution that was solid, professional, and easy to remove the devices. I decided to use a system called DIN rails to mount the equipment. A DIN rail is a metal rail with standard dimensions often used for mounting industrial control equipment inside cabinets. These DIN rails are widely available on Amazon. They are just metal rails that equipment mounts onto. I have a few examples here because I have used these on other projects for my work. The components designed for DIN rails just snap onto the rail. Also, these green guys are generic DIN rail mounting brackets you can use for other equipment that do not directly support DIN rail mounting. For example, my Wi-Fi router can be attached to these mounting brackets, and so can my Pepwave cellular router. I just screw the router into the brackets, and now the Pepwave supports DIN rail mounting. I saw some specific DIN rail brackets made for Pepwave routers on Etsy if you want to investigate that as an option. For me, these simple green mounts worked very well. For the Wi-Fi router, I will make the green mounts very snug into the existing router mounting holes. Next, I select some nuts and bolts that fit the rails, which will be used to mount the rails onto the closet wall. Since the RV is a bit bouncy, I decided to use washers and nylon lock nuts on the back side of the bolts so nothing ever comes loose. My DIN rails will be mounted in this cabinet on the side of the wall that is shared with the enclosed control center area. So I took off the control center panel so I can access the back of the shared wall for the backing washers and lock nuts. I drilled the first hole just to mount one side of the DIN rail so it can pivot so I can level and mark where the other hole should go. I could only find 12 and 8-inch DIN rails, so I will use one of each. I followed the same procedure when mounting the other rail. The rails were very solid when all screws were tightened. Next, I connected my network and power cables to my Wi-Fi router and snapped it onto the rail. Finally, the Pepwave router was also snapped onto the rail. I cleaned up the sawdust and organized the wires. Now the components are solidly mounted to the RV wall and can easily be snapped off if necessary. I left a little bit of extra DIN rail space for potential future devices, like maybe a network patch cable receptacle where I can plug in an Ethernet cable when I'm at home doing a server data sync. Thanks to some LEDs I added to the closet in a previous project, really helped light up the work area. Check out the link to a future video I'll post soon about my LED project. Also, check out my other future media server video where I show an alternative mounting option I used for my media server behind the TV. This mounting solution could have been used instead of the DIN rails I discussed here. Thanks for watching.